For my motif, I had light and darkness. So as for how this is used in the novel, light is used to show truth and Iam's progression towards truth. And it appears during significant times of change or importance in his life with regards to truth. Such as when Iam is in his hole during the prologue, and he is with his multitude of lights, and that shows his new understanding of himself and of the world around him, and that he was a part of before. Or with the Brotherhood, in the first speech that he gave for the Brotherhood, when he was engulfed in light by the spotlight and was blinded by that, which is an ironic form of light because it shows um, the Brotherhood's control over I am and the blindness that he has to that control. Darkness represents confusion for I am and his distancing himself from the truth. And an instance of this would be after the accident at Liberty Paints, when he is asked what his name is. I am says that he dives into the blackness of his mind, and he's unable to answer that question because he does not know that truth at this time. He's unable to see his identity. So as for my first example is in the context of the accident after Liberty Paints on page 239, and it says, "What is your name?" A tremor shook me. I realized that I no longer knew my own name. I tried again, plunging into the darkness of my mind. It was no use. So like I said before, this is an instance of darkness, and this shows that I am at this point does not know his identity or his place and the truths about that. Um, It also there's also a light illuminating him at this time, and that is a foreshadow of the truth that he will find out with the Brotherhood, um, and the experience that he will have with that. And it also illuminates the truth that he doesn't really know about himself and the position that he is in, and that he needs to develop that about himself and delve deeper into that. My second example is on page 341, and this is during the first Brotherhood speech that I am gives. And it says, "The light was so strong that I could no longer see the audience, the bowl of faces." So, like I said before, that this is an ironic form of light. And in this instance, I am is being blinded by a truth, something that he feels is a truth. Um, and the Brotherhood is using that against him to keep him under control and to prevent him from branching out and learning more about himself by keeping him into a more scientific approach to things. And this also foreshadows the I am's finding out of the falseness of the Brotherhood and the control that they were exercising over him and the true intentions behind it. And this is interesting because this is found out when Brother Jack, his glass eye pops out, and it's interesting that I am figures this out, and now is blinded by the light, so the blindness and the glass eye are linked together through that. So then my third example is pages 368 to 69, and this is in the context of the fight involving Ross, I am, and Clifton. And the quote says, "Someone had knocked out the light, and through the dimness I saw Clifton heading to where a red neon sign glowed in a dark window." So this instance is with regards to Clifton, and it shows his approach towards the light of discovering the true intentions of the Brotherhood and his leaving of the Brotherhood. And it also highlights the emotion and passion that arises from the interaction between Ross, Iam, and Clifton when Ross is trying to tell them to abandon the principles of the Brotherhood and accept their race and support a fight to make African Americans have more power and become more involved in society, versus coexisting with whites and blacks. So this is something that comes up a lot with color imagery being used in conjunction with lights. Another instance of this would be right before I Am is delivers his first Brotherhood speech. He stops outside the entrance before he goes to make his speech, and there's a dim blue light, and this light would represent how the irony that he is being blinded to the reality around him, and that he is being taken further away from the truth. And the dimness of the light emphasizes that, showing that the truth is becoming farther away, more difficult to see for I Am, even though he feels that he is approaching the truth for himself. So going back to this example, there is also darkness surrounding this event. So the whole event is lit only by the neon red sign in the window. Everything else is blackness. So this could emphasize that that I Am is still getting farther away from the truth, and that his clinging to the values of the Brotherhood and his ignoring of Ross shows that he is getting steadily further away from the truth. And the red light could also foreshadow the emotional tension that arises from I Am's interaction with the Brotherhood later on in the book, when he figures out their true intentions and tries to cast them off. So the next example was in the context of after I Am had just fallen into the hole during the riot. So not in the prologue, but near the end of the book. And it says, I was in a deep basement, and I realized that to light the way, I would have to burn every paper in my briefcase. So this is a major turning point for I Am, because he finally casts off the briefcase and all the contents in it, everything that was weighing him down. So the significance of the light that comes from lighting his way with the stuff that was weighing him down is it shows that he's finally seen the truth and is illuminating the fact that everything that he had was weighing him down, and that was not who he was and what he needed to do. So, and the light also helps him find his way through the darkness that was surrounding him previously with his briefcase. Everything weighing him down acted as darkness around him. So burning it allowed him to see through that and find his way to who he truly was, which can be seen in the prologue as the Invisible Man, and his role as a writer, and how he will use that to continue to play a role in society. And then the final example that I have is from the prologue, and it says, and I love light. Perhaps you'll think it strange that an invisible man should need light, desire light, love light. But maybe it is exactly because I am invisible. Light confirms my reality, gives birth to my form. So this is in the context of after everything in the book has happened. After he falls into the hole and everything preceding that. So he's had all this time to discover and to wend his way through the darkness and the light that has come into his life. So the fact that he has the plethora of lights in the home that he has made for himself, and the fact that he says that he loves light, explicitly states that for the motif, that he has a desire to learn truth, and that truth is a necessity for him, and that truth has given rise to everything that he has, that has illuminated his home, his purpose, and it has helped him to find his identity as the Invisible Man, which he also states in there. Okay, so for my visual, I have 3 pictures here. So the picture in the top left is a pure blackness. So we can imagine that there is no light, there is no truth. It is all darkness, confusion, and we cannot see what is in front of us. And then the picture in the top right is blinding light that is ironic in nature, like with the Brotherhood in his first speech, and how he and how it can blind us to truths, and we are even though we have light, we are still unable to see what is in front of us. And then the final picture in the middle is the briefcase, which I thought was fitting, since that was a major turning point in his life, and it was complemented nicely by darkness and light, as I have stated before. So there is a balance of light that needs to be attained in order to find truth. So then, the relationship to the theme that I chose was reality versus illusion. I feel like this theme was really captured by my motif, because light itself literally illuminates darkness and disperses any thoughts of illusions or imaginations that we have. So the truth is able to illuminate and disperse illusion in our lives, and truth is able to illuminate reality as well. We're able to see past illusion and able to see what the reality really is. And darkness can also be a form of illusion, which can prevent us from seeing the reality and putting thoughts in our head that may not be in line with the reality. And as for the theme itself, I feel like that represented that we are often so heavily bombarded with illusions around us, and that it can be difficult to illuminate what is actually truth and what is actually truth to us and can benefit us, which we see with I.M. Throughout his entire journey, because, for example, there was the Brotherhood and the speech that he gave. I keep referencing this, and it shows, even though he is able to, he has light during his speech, and he's able to see that truth, quote unquote truth, and he's able to he's still blinded by that truth, which is in itself a form of illusion, an illusion of reality to him. This can also be seen with his hospital experience. This is a key one, because the darkness in his mind is also ironic. It is the reality in this situation, that he really does not know who he is and what his purpose is and the truth behind that. And the light is helping to illuminate that contrast between. So yes.